Ας περάσουμε τώρα στο επόμενο θέμα, το οποίο αφορά το Reload Greece, το οποίο πραγματοποιήθηκε το Σάββατο 5 Οκτωβρίου στα δικηγορικά γραφεία Allen Overy στο κέντρο του Λονδίνου. Το Reload Greece τίμησαν με την παρουσία τους ο Υφυπουργός Έρευνας και τεχνολογίας της Ελλάδος, κύριος Χρίστος Δήμας, ο εκπρόσωπος του Allen Overy Γιάννης Μανουηλίδης, ο Ιωάννης Τσακίρης, Υφυπουργός Ανάπτυξης και επενδύσεων, ο πρόεδρος του Reload Greece Γρηγόρης Χούπης και πολλά ακόμα στελέχη επιχειρήσεων. Παρευρέθηκαν ακόμη νέοι άνθρωποι με ιδέες, τις οποίες θέλουν να πραγματοποιήσουν, αλλά και εκπρόσωποι πολλών start-up επιχειρήσεων. Η CEO του Reload Greece, κυρία Άντζελα Στάθη, αφού καλωσόρισε τους παρευρισκόμενους, παρουσίασε ένα βίντεο στο οποίο εξηγείται τι ακριβώς είναι το Reload και στη συνέχεια παρουσίασε όλους τους κύριους ομιλητές και τους έδωσε το λόγο. Μετά τις σύντομες ομιλίες τους, ακολούθησε συζήτηση, την οποία συντόνισε η κυρία Άντζελα Στάθη. Ας παρακολουθήσουμε αποσπάσματα από όλα όσα αναφέραμε.
My name is Άντζελα Στάθη, and I am the new CEO of Reload Greece. Exactly 1 year ago, whilst working for a multinational information services sector and studied towards my executive MBA from London Business School, I was the one sitting at your seats, being inspired by Reload Greece's amazing work. 1 year later, and after presenting my idea to Reload Greece's Accelerator program, I'm now standing in front of you as their new CEO. Thrilled to introduce you to RG Connect 19 conference and share our vision of the growth of the organization. For those new to the organization, Reload Greece is a UK-based educational charity, founded 2012 with a mission to educate young entrepreneurs to develop their businesses, connect like-minded individuals in the diaspora, help inspiring entrepreneurs in Greece and in the diaspora in their journey from early stage of their idea to raising their first round of investments. We introduce them to the UK and Greek startup and investor ecosystem. Our aim is to create a new generation of entrepreneurs, to create ventures that have a social and economic impact in their home countries. Our uniqueness stands that we are the first organization outside of Greece and the only Greek organization that is helping startups connect with the diaspora. Nearly 5,000 people have been educated through Reload Greece's programs. Over 10 million investments have been raised from our startups. And 200 new jobs have been created, which is more than 70% in Greece. It has been a very exciting year for Reload, with a lot of successful stories from our entrepreneurs that join all our programs. With that, I prompt you to have a look.
I feel alive when I'm with these guys. I get up in the morning and I mingle with people that dream and want to achieve and want to change. And look here, this is amazing. And we have entrepreneurs, we have also people from the diaspora and wealthy people that are interested to make a difference. So we put all together and this is priceless. So the impact can be huge.
The RG Challenge 11 days, they were intense. I can say that we live with a different mindset, and that's the most important part. The mentors were great, they pushed to the limits.
It was great to be giving back to my country. It was very inspiring to see their passion and going after for their dream. I found RG Challenge an amazing experience. It was like a mini MBA in 11 days. I found it very intellectually stimulating, energizing and inspiring actually.
RG is a door to success. That's the first step for every entrepreneur that wants to progress their idea.
I love mentoring for Reload Greece because it gave me the chance to meet great people that have great ideas.
To develop a long-term sustainable ecosystem in Greece, you need a lot of different ingredients, and events such as RG Connect enable to bring all of the different players within the ecosystem together.
We're bringing the community together, and this is what Reload Greece is all about, and this is what today is all about, inspiring people to feel that they can really drive the change that they want to see in their communities.
It was a perfect opportunity because it matched with our ambition to build bridges between the Athenian and Greek ecosystem with the UK and London one.
I think what Reload Greece and the organization do is amazing, it's truly amazing, and is very much needed in the Greek youth these days to really help them take their ideas and move them to the next stage.
It really shows you that people are interested in supporting you, and there's a huge community of people who will do that without any interest per se. They just want to help, and that's amazing to see when we're trying to reload Greece.
So I hope you got inspired by this video. So I would like to share with you that all this work, it's actually a significant part of the operational cost of Reload Greece, including the running of our educational programs. It's very much covered by the help of our donors and support, and that of our in-kind supporters, for which we are extremely grateful for. Being a small team of 4, we are in need of this support to continue our work. And despite the organizational size, every year we manage to run 3 accelerator programs, including a bespoke program and this flagship conference. As the Reload Greece community grows, we hope that our members will help us create a sustainable model. Already in May this year, and with the help of our pro bono lawyers, we now require entrepreneurs that participated in our programs and activities to give back to Reload in the form of a donation, a small percentage of the money they raised through the investments in the first 12 months of taking part of our activities and programs. The latter is one way that we can become sustainable in the long run. However, until those funds are put in action, the help of our donors is still very important for us to continue our work. Today, we promise you a day full of insight and inspiration. This year's conference brings together an international community of entrepreneurs, investors, academia, policymakers, joining us from all over the world. The US, the UK, Belgium, the Netherlands, Serbia, UAE, and of course, Japan. With inspirational talks on how to raise funds, how to scale up your business, technology, innovation, AI, robotics, 5G, Internet of Things, smart cities, electrification of transport, the future of work, female leadership, startup pitches, there is plenty of networking opportunities. It is a unique day for you to learn, get inspired, and connect. Before I lead towards my concluding remarks, I would like to invite you to download the Presso, the networking app that we have introduced this year, for you to see the agenda and also interact with us and give us the feedback for every single session. I also would like to share that today our keynote speaker has changed, and we have Lord Billy Moore, CBDL, which is the founder of Cobra Beer. He will be sharing his extraordinary path to entrepreneurship and how he created a global brand. With that, I would like to hand over to Mr. Houpis, who is our Reload Greece chairman and board of trustees, and he will moderate the first session with our politicians, talking about mobilizing the diaspora, driving innovative investments in Greece. Thank you very much to all of you, to Allen Overy for hosting us today, and I really hope you will enjoy today's session. Thank you.
can I invite the panelists to join me on the floor, please? Good morning, everyone. Let me extend Angela's welcome to all of you, and also to welcome to this first session that we're going to run on Greece being open for business, with a particular focus on thinking about we can incentivize the diaspora to make a contribution. I would like to extend a particularly warm welcome to our panel. And we have this year two deputy ministers from the Ministry of Development in Greece, which has been renamed Ministry of Development and Investment. And this is Iωάννης Τσακίρης, who has responsibility for the structural funds and public investment, and Χρίστος Δήμας, with responsibility for research and technology, and I think also innovation. Would also like to welcome Γρηγόρης Δημητριάδης, who's General Secretary at the Foreign Office, but also with responsibility for international economic relations and what we use, the word we use in Greek, exostrephia της Ελλάδας. So you're very welcome, you're in the right place. And then last but not least, Γιάννης Μανουηλίδης. He's a partner in Allen Overy, probably known to a number of you, and we think that Giannis brings tremendous experience in terms of the practical aspects of investing in Greece, both if you're a big investor and if you're a small investor. And so our plan is I will open with some remarks in relation to our theme, and then I'll hand over to Giannis, Christos, and Grigoris to present their views on those policy subjects. And then lastly, to Giannis Manoilidis to offer us his views from his practical perspective. I'm aware that one of our panelists, Iωάννης Τσακίρης, has a bit of a time constraint, so we're going to try and go reasonably quickly to meet that time constraint. But there is a chance that Giannis might need to leave before the end, so I'm just excusing him in advance. Okay, so let me just give you a few observations on the theme of today. And I will start with the last part, which is investment, okay? Now, what I'm gonna put up here is an index which may be familiar to a number of you. This is called the Ease of Developing Business. It's run by the World Bank. I think we've looked at this ranking numbers before. This is a ranking, it's not a score, so a high number is not where you want to be, okay, before anybody gets excited. And so the reason we've shown this index is it's particularly focused on setting up businesses and new businesses. Okay, and although it's run by the World Bank and the focus is on worldwide markets, you can also compare how Greece is doing with a number of other countries. And as you can see, our starting point is not very good. Now, all of these indexes have problems. There's nothing that is perfect, but I think it does give you an idea about where we are and the magnitude of the task ahead. And the other point to make is that this is not a static ranking. Okay, it's not like everybody else is going to stay at 1 to 71 and then we can move up. So if you look at some of the statements, and especially in some of the countries in Southeast Asia, Indonesia is, I think, is aiming for the 40th spot. Okay, that's 30 above Greece. And then in India, this is a big issue in India, and they have actually set a target. They've gone to the 77th place, and Modi has set the target to go to the 30th place by 2030. So this is a dynamic development. And the other thing to make about this index is it sends a message. There's some work that's been done to try and look at the link between the index and investment, and of course it's not direct, but the Commission has published a paper, and the key point is, the European Commission, the key point is it's sending a message about how the country is doing and how seriously it's taking its incentives for new businesses. So this is the theme around investment. If I go around innovation, again, a number of you will probably know that Estonia has been doing great in this area, especially in relation to e-government. So what I've done is I've plotted it's the labor productivity, which is effectively reflecting the average salary, the average wages. And I've plotted that for Estonia and Greece. And you can see how Greece has fallen since the crisis. That's probably not surprising. But you also see how big the increase for Estonia is. So we're now broadly, I didn't put the color lines. I think you can guess which one is Greece and which one is Estonia. We're broadly at the same level. now. Okay, so I think the message is, I wouldn't want to take a negative message from that because the downwards path is due to the crisis. But I think what this shows is it can be done. You can actually improve your position. Okay? Now, one of the areas that I think is important to think about in terms of improving that position is how do you create jobs that are value-adding. Through research and through innovation. And in the last year's conference, I had put those numbers up. It was the program of the previous government, and it was talking about the investment that would go in terms of funding R&D in universities. And as you can tell, these are significant amounts. Okay? The program told, for those that don't speak Greek, you can read the numbers. It's 685 projects for 394 million euro. Okay? So the question here is not necessarily that there isn't money going into the education system. The question is how do you turn that money into ideas, into commercial propositions. And here I think there are lessons that can be learned from other countries. And as we are in the UK, I asked a few of my colleagues about what does the UK does in this area. And you can see this program that they have come up with. It's called iCure, and it's effectively not very dissimilar to what Reload does, but it tries to go to universities and generate ideas around programs so that people that get funding from the university can turn those ideas into commercial propositions.
So first of all, I would like to thank our government to be here today. Thank you for coming from Greece just to tell us about your initiatives. We're very pleased to have you, and as well His Excellency, the Ambassador of Greece that is here with us today. So we heard a lot in the previous session. We are very pleased as Reload to hear that the Greek government is heading hopefully to the very nice, good and right direction. We hear that they will develop technology transfer funds. We hear that they will create stock option opportunities. We also heard that they will make the opportunity for companies to start quicker in Greece. We're very much pleased to hear all that. But today, we're going to share you our story. The story of Reload helping a startup that came from Greece into our programs. So, here we start. We have with us Anastasios. Anastasios happens to be the co-founder and CEO of Smart Powered Networks. In 2019, actually just a few months ago, Anastasios joined Reload Greece program. He has 10 years of experience in the renewable energy sector, and he holds multiple degrees in the energy and masters, and then he decided to pursue it as well, a PhD that he's currently completing at Imperial College. So, during his PhD, Anastasios decided to develop his smart powered network. And there we are, today here with Tony Kypreos, who happens to be a very inspiring entrepreneur. He is a founder who has multiple exits in the healthcare, digital media, mobile, including an 800 million NASDAQ IPO of an agency.com. He has a very large corporate experience, executive boards at T-Mobile. He has a corporate venture experience, managing director of M&A deals. Really a very impressive background. He also, in his spare time, happens to be a professor as well at the University of Cambridge in business school. So, today, Mr. Kypreos is here to describe his work with the UK government at the Global Entrepreneurial Program, and also to tell us how he is collaborating with Reload Greece. So, Mr. Kypreos holds an MBA from Allen Business School and a business and science degree in physics and electronics, and also he's a neurolinguistics programming practitioner from the University of California. So, Mr. Anastasios, tell us exactly what Smart Power Networks is developing.
Thank you very much, Άντζελα. First of all, I want to thank you for having us here, for giving us the opportunity to speak between you and Tony. The Reload Greece initiative is great, and we thank you for that. So, Smart Power Networks is a technology startup. We're developing innovative control and automation solutions for energy systems that will radically change the way we operate them to this day. Just to make that clear, our first product is the Smart Network Controller. That is a device, a physical device that supervises optimizes and controls energy assets of any kind in a coordinated manner. While we're here, essentially our company is a Greek company because both myself and my co-founder Dimitrios were of Greek descent. And even though we have we call it the global HQ here in the UK, we have the dream of establishing a base of operations back home because we may have heard the Deputy Minister saying that we don't do well in combining research and business, but because I have graduated from the National Technical University of Athens, Ethnico Metsopolis Polytechnio, I know firsthand that the engineering expertise of Greeks is tremendous. So we want to exploit this expertise. That's why we want to have our R&D base back home. That's the first reason. The second reason, though, is that our solution is a must-have for decentralized systems in general, and energy systems are going towards decentralization at the moment. But Greece's energy system is naturally decentralized due to its unique morphology and geography, with these hundreds, maybe thousands of islands we have and so on.
Very good. I'm very pleased to hear that you're developing this company and also you're being helped with Reload. But tell us a little bit, how did you get introduced to the Global Entrepreneurial Program and how this program is helping you?
So we got introduced to Tony a few months back through Reload Greece, so thank you very much for this introduction. We have graduated from the RG Challenge. For the ones that just joined us, this is Reload Greece's intense 11-day accelerator program running every year in London. So we met Tony through RG Challenge 4 months back, I believe. Now, the first discussions we had with Tony were very intense. Tony wanted to assess the capabilities of our team, the potential of our product, and in general our business. Once he completed this assessment, he sponsored us to the next level, which was a peer review assessment within the GP with energy specialists that they have. We had some tough questions there, but we've been lucky to pass through that, and I have to say that I'm very happy because only 1 in 20 companies that try to do that, they get accepted, and we're now accepted by the GP. And now someone will ask, what does the GP for you? Well, essentially, it identifies and recognizes smart power networks as a company startup with exceptional potential for global growth. Now, that can mean many things, but essentially I have to say that Tony has been supportive in many different ways. First of all, and that is critical for a startup of our scale, he helps with connections. Connections that can bring, first of all, commercial deals, actual traction, or attracting investment. And that is critical for a company in our scale because both myself and my partner are fairly young people, so we may not always have the connections necessary. And indicatively, I should mention that last Tuesday, we had a meeting with C-rank members of Solar Century, a British solar plant developer, and that is a meeting that was set up by Tony. So Tony helped us to get in this room with these people, and I hope that you can understand that this can be critical for a company in our scale because achieving a single deal with a company of this scale would set us for success generally. They have track record in Latin America, Africa, Asia, so that's critical for us. But that's not the only thing, to be honest. Tony is helping overall to create an investable business, so make smart power networks an investable business. So we have been discussing with him our business plan, our financial models, and we have been improving it with his help. And to top it up, I should say here that this is for free. So we don't give any equity, no payments, absolutely nothing. Thank you very much, Tony.
That's amazing. So what is behind this free program of the UK government that I really hope that the government officials from Greece will get some insights and hopefully implement the Greece. Tell us, Tony, what is this program all about?
Well, firstly, I think I should bring both of you with me everywhere I go because you can be my agents and introduce me always. But first thing, I'd like to just thank Reload Greece because it's such a tremendous initiative and I've seen a lot of progress over the last few years and the quality of startups has improved. And it's really something that is beneficial. Such a small team shows how small team focused can achieve so much. And also it's good to follow the previous panel and I found it really good to be self-critical but very specific and action-oriented as well. It was very transparent and honest and I really appreciated that. In terms of GEP, it's the only program of its type in the world, but I think an adaptation could work for Greece, to Greece's requirements. But it was conceived in 2005 and it was conceived by the Innovation Minister of the UK, Lord Sainsbury, and he realised 3 things. One is that, or 2 things specifically. One is that entrepreneurial talent stimulates prosperity and growth. You know, many of the companies that are big now didn't even exist 20 years ago. And the key thing he realized is that the UK should attract that talent from anywhere in the world. It's not just to promote UK entrepreneurs, but to find them and attract them. Secondly, he realized that they don't really, most entrepreneurs, and I'm glad you're going to clear up some of the red tape in Greece. I just hate bureaucracy. It's worse than tax even. So he realized that entrepreneurs don't want to really engage with civil servants. They want to engage with people like them, maybe more experienced, who've been through the journey and been through the troubles and challenges. And so he wanted to create a small team of serial entrepreneurs, existing entrepreneurs that could probably help. So I'm one of 15 people around the world that are retained by the British government, but we're very standalone. We do what we need to do, and we have to be existing entrepreneurs, we have to be existing investors, and 4 or 5 days a month we scout the world for world-class companies. And in the last 10 years, the GEP has brought over 400 early-stage companies, many of which have achieved exit and done very well, and helped raise over £250 million for them. So that's really part of it. The key thing about Reload Greece, you do my work for me. So rather than having to travel around, I can go to Reload Greece and already see 5 pre-screened great companies.
Στο φετινό Reload Greece πραγματοποιήθηκαν πολλές συναντήσεις που διήρκησαν ολόκληρη την ημέρα. Στο διάλειμμα αυτής της δημιουργικής εκδήλωσης, λάβαμε την ευκαιρία να πάρουμε μια σύντομη συνέντευξη από την CEO του Reload Greece, κυρία Άντζελα Στάθη. Την συνέντευξη πήρε η συνεργάτηδα του σταθμού μας, Πασούλα Χριστοδούλου. Ας δούμε τι μας είπε.
Γεια σας από το Hellenic TV. Βρισκόμαστε σε αυτό το υπέροχο conference, το Reload 19, και έχουμε μαζί μας την κυρία Άντζελα Στάθη.
Ευχαριστώ πολύ.
Πείτε μας λίγο για το χώρο εδώ που σας φιλοξενεί σήμερα.
Είμαστε πάρα πολύ ενθουσιασμένοι γιατί η Allen Overy μας παρέχει αυτό το καταπληκτικό χώρο, ένα δικηγορικό γραφείο, ένα από τα μεγαλύτερα στο Λονδίνο, που μας φιλοξενεί σήμερα με το συνέδριό μας.
Και αυτή είναι, πώς είναι η πρώτη χρονιά που γίνεται αυτό το συνέδριο?
Όχι, το συνέδριο τρέχει εδώ και 6 χρόνια τώρα και πραγματικά έχουμε πάρα πολύ κόσμο από διάφορες χώρες που μας ήρθαν φέτος. Είχαμε φυσικά από την Αγγλία, αλλά από τα Ηνωμένα Βασίλεια, είχαμε από τη Σερβία, από τη Ολλανδία, επίσης μέχρι και από την Ιαπωνία, για να φανταστείτε.
Ώστε η ανταπόκριση είναι εξαιρετική.
Είναι εξαιρετική και είμαστε πάρα πολύ χαρούμενοι που έχουμε και εσάς σήμερα κοντά μας.
Χαρά μας. Και μετά το μεσημεριανό καταλαβαίνω ότι θα υπάρξουν επιλογές για τα σεμινάρια.
Ακριβώς. Έχουμε πολλές επιλογές έτσι για να καλύψουμε την γκάμα όλων των ενδιαφερόντων που ενδιαφέρονται για είτε να μάθουν κάτι στο Learn, είτε να κάνουν connect με τις διάφορες εταιρείες που έχουμε κοντά μας ή να γίνουν inspired. Οπότε εύχομαι αυτοί που μας ακούνε σήμερα να έρθουν μαζί μας τις επόμενες χρονιές να δουν αυτό το υπέροχο συνέδριο.
Πολύ ωραία. Και τελευταία ερώτηση. Μέχρι τώρα πώς βλέπετε την ανταπόκριση του κόσμου? Βλέπω εγώ ότι είναι πολύ ενθουσιασμένος.
Θα το έλεγα είναι πολύ ενθουσιασμένος και το καλό ήταν που είχαμε μάλιστα και την ελληνική κυβέρνηση. Μόλις 3 μήνες ήταν μαζί μας. Είχαμε την κυβέρνηση μαζί μας, τον πρόξενο της Ελλάδας που ήταν μαζί μας και έδωσαν αυτήν την ωραία εικόνα το τι θα συμβεί στην Ελλάδα στους επόμενους μήνες. Τι ενέργειες για να βοηθήσουν το επιχειρήν και να βοηθήσουν τη χώρα μας. Πιστεύω ότι αυτό θα βοηθήσει όλους μας να μάθουμε κάτι καινούριο. Και χαίρομαι που σας έχουμε, όπως σας είπα, κοντά μας.
Ευχαριστούμε πάρα πολύ. Καλή συνέχεια.
Πολλά ακόμα αποσπάσματα θα παρακολουθήσετε προσεχώς στην εκπομπή με το φακό του Hellenic TV.